This week, we are going to be working with multimedia. So there are a couple different sections in your book that deal with multimedia that you're going to want to take a look at. And then you're going to go through the lecture demo, which is a little bit more extensive. So we start with kind of giving an overview of sound. And we're covering basically sound and video. And so we talk about how sound is kind of made and what you need to be aware of if you are creating your own sound file, sampling rate, resolution, number of channels, and the sound file formats. Okay, so we talk about all of those, give you a little list of the different formats that you may find on the web, and some links to sites where you can get royalty-free sound. So if you use the sites, you want to make sure that it is royalty-free. And let's see, should be able to hear it. Okay, that's supposed to be a dragon. And then you should be able to download. So for this one, they actually want you to register, but it is free. And they're telling you the format is a WAV format. You certainly can create your own sound if you would like to do that. I've had students do that. Here's another free sound site. This one actually has the download button, so you can get two of the formats that you need, MP3 and WAV. And you can listen to it ahead of time. Poor little dog. So you click the buttons. I would definitely virus check anything that you do download. Let me see if I can. Ooh, creaky door. That's very spooky. Okay. Yes, that is upsetting my dog. Okay, so if I download this, you can see it is downloading the file. Anything I download from sites like this, I always display in the folder. And then I would right click and scan it, with whatever antivirus you have. Okay, so lots of places where you can get these free sounds from. So I have links to some of them. You are also welcome to create your own sound files if that is something that you are into. Now, how do you add them to a page? You can link the sound file, and it's the same way you link anything else. You have to use the anchor tag and the href attribute. You can also embed a sound file. And with HTML5, this has become quite easy because you use the audio tag. Okay, and there are attributes that you can add. Controls is one of them, which I would definitely give people the controls so they can stop it if they don't want it to play. Other attributes that you can add would be loop and autoplay. I think both of those are rather obnoxious, so I just would display controls and I would let people play the song if they wanted to. The types of sound files currently recognized with audio tag include MP3 and WAV and OGG. And we'll talk about the OGG format in a minute. So when you set these up, what you would do is you'd have your opening audio, you would have a closing audio, and then in between you would have your source tags. And these include the names of the sound files and the types. And you would include more than one because not all of the browsers are going to recognize all of the different sound formats. And a lot of times to play these, people have to have extensions installed into their browser. So if you include more than one type, the chances are that people will be able to play the sound. So I did a little snippet of Bob Marley's song, and I have it in the 3 formats. Okay, this is the tag that I have kind of behind the scenes that produced this embedded sound file. Now you'll notice that after the 3 source files, I have a link that says your browser does not support the audio tag, click here to play. And that will actually give them the same sound file. It should, if they can't play it live, it'll download it for them. Okay, so usually after your source tags, you do have some kind of disclaimer, like your browser doesn't support the audio element. Honestly, people should not see that. They should see the embedded tag if you have chosen standard sound formats. Okay, if you've got a standard format, it should show just like this, and they can click to play. Okay, so that is pretty much how you set up your sound file for linking or embedding. And more information on OGG. So OGG is supposed to be the next best thing besides buttered toast. I'm not sure that it has caught on quite as well as they anticipated. It is open source, it is royalty free. And the idea is that everything would support it. And if you picked an OGG format, you could play it anywhere. Okay, there are some advantages to using OGG. It's high quality. It's compressed into a smaller file size so that the files download faster and they don't take as much space. They don't take up as much space. So there's a lot of pluses to using OGG. I have not ever had a problem playing back an OGG file. And as far as converting into the different formats, you should list 3 different source files for audio. You should have MP3, you should have WAV, and you should have a third. And so OGG is quite often the third that people will choose. And to convert into the different formats, you can either download a program like Audacity, which is a program that I use and love. It's super easy to use. Or you can use Cloud Convert. If you use Cloud Convert, it does allow you to upload the file and it will convert it into a bunch of different formats. And you can see for audio, all the different formats that it will convert into. Okay. What it tends to do is save the converted file into your Google Drive. So just kind of be aware of that. This is a free service. Obviously, it's not hard to use. You just upload your file, and, tell it, convert whatever it is, your MP3 file into, and then you tell it the format that you want to convert it into. Okay, so if you don't want to download something, that works just fine. Like I said, Audacity is awesome. I use it. And as far as playing back video that's in different formats, there is a really good free program that you can download, and this will play back all sorts of different formats of video. And speaking of video, that is our next section. So we kind of start out by talking about how video files are made, the fact that they use frame rates and codecs. Codecs are for compression. So in order to play back the video, the software that you use has to be able to decompress it. So it needs to recognize the codec. And these are the different formats. And the standards are really MP4. WebM has become more of a standard. The Windows format, the QuickTime format, I've not had a problem, honestly, playing any of these formats back. And as far as editing software goes, there are free editors. There are also editors that you pay for. Oh, it looks like that moved. I will have to re-find that page because that page actually had some good editors on it. So you can pay for video editing software. I do use Wondershare Filmora for video editing. I paid for it years ago, and I paid once, and I have a lifetime of updates. So that actually was money well spent. I've got it installed on 2 machines, and I've been able to reinstall, update the software, only paid for it once. As far as displaying the video on your page, you can link, and the links are done with the anchor tags, just like any other links. You can also embed. So this is very similar to the audio tag. HTML5 has a video tag. I would say the difference here is that you are giving it the dimensions of the video itself. And then you definitely want to display controls. Okay, so those are attributes that I would include in the opening video tag. Other attributes that you could put in there are a poster attribute. And basically, if the video is loading, it displays like a little poster. The source element you have to have, because that actually is going to give the address of your video, the address and name. The type you also have to have because that tells it what kind of video. So you have your opening video tag. Just like with sound, it's ideal if you have 3 separate source tags. MP4, WebM, and OGG are standards. The browser should be able to play those, and if it can't recognize one, it will go to the next one. And so here is an example. So I've got the width and the height, and I've got the controls displayed. Okay, and you can see that I've got 3 different ones listed. So which one is going to play? Well, you don't really know. Okay, that's the reason why you want 3. So if for some reason this browser could not play an MP4, it would go to WM. And if it couldn't play the WM, it's going to WMV. Okay, so out of those 3, one of them should be able to play, and I can see that it is. Okay, and then if for some reason, let's say the video, I screwed up transferring my files and these files weren't online. Okay, then it should say your web browser doesn't support HTML5 video, which probably isn't true. Probably is just that the video hasn't been transferred. So if I hit play, you can actually see the video playing. So I said you needed 3 formats. So how do you get those formats? You can use Cloud Convert, just like you do with audio. So you upload the file, you pick the format you want to convert it into, and it should save it to your Google Drive. So I do have a link to a video so you can see how Cloud Convert works. And then I have a link to using your Google Drive. Now in the the video tag, you have to give it a width and a height. So how do you know what the width and the height of the video is? You can right click the video, go into properties and go into details, and then it'll tell you. And these are in pixels. Okay, another way to tell, I have to find video for this. Okay, so I have video here. So I was playing around with Zoom. If you go into content view, so you go to view and content, you can see it's giving you a height and a width. And these are pixel measurements. Okay. So a couple different ways that you can see what the height and width are. What if you don't want it to be quite that big? You could do, video width equals 50%. Then I would just leave height off. Okay, so that will, or you could do 75%. If you need to adjust the size. That's how I would do it for right now, because otherwise you could get a very distorted looking video if you try to guess the width and the height. It could look like a funhouse video, which is probably not what you're going for. Adding other types of media. So we do have an object tag that you can add other media with. And that one I actually don't use all that often. They have more information on this at W3 Schools. What I would do if I wasn't going to use the video tag is I would use an iframe. And this is actually super easy to use if you want to embed something like a YouTube video like I did here. So for YouTube, anytime you go to YouTube, what are these? This is called live at Daryl's. So anytime you find a video, that you like, you can go into share and embed, and it's giving you the iframe here. So you can actually copy this and paste it right into your page. Okay, so super easy to use iframe. Most sites will include some kind of a share link where you can get the iframe information, and then you just throw it right into your page. If for some reason you couldn't find that, it is pretty easy to figure out how to get this into your page. Where you see the address, and there is the watch $V equals. You can basically just replace that portion with embed slash. So you've got watch $V equals. You put embed slash in there instead, and then you've got the embedded source. Okay, so not too hard to do. What do I normally do? I would normally just use the share and copy paste the iframe link because it's easy. Other things that you should know about the video tag, and this is important to know for your certification exam. There is a track tag that specifies subtitles, and it also specifies closed captioning. So here we're telling it we have subtitles and the source is English, and this is going to give us closed captioning in English. You can see below that we have something similar for Norwegian that would give us closed captioning in Norwegian. Okay, so be aware that it is the track tag that gives you the closed captioning and makes your video ADA compliant. Okay, so that is actually important for you to know. So once you get through with the lecture demo, you are going to work on your assignment. And as with all of your other assignments, there are videos for all the tasks. And this particular assignment, I am giving you the HTML, I am giving you the graphic files, and I'm giving you both sound and video files. And you're going to download all of those into a media folder along with all of the graphics. And then you are going to edit the page, the zoo page, and you are going to be adding the embedded audio. You are going to be adding links to audio. Okay, then you'll be downloading a bunch of video. You will be adding embedded video and links to the video. And then finally, you are going to be adding an iframe for another monkey video, basically. And then you'll be done with it. So you will then transfer everything to the web. Make sure you check it live because sometimes when you're transferring these larger multimedia files, the transmission gets interrupted and the file does not fully transfer. So make sure you check it live because then it ensures everything is working properly. After you do the textbook assignment, you're going to do your own multimedia assignment. So you're going to be creating your own page. Okay, and in your own page, you can do a brand new page or you can modify an existing page. You need one embedded sound file. That file should be in 3 different formats so that you can have 3 different source tags. Okay, then you need, in addition to the embedded file, below it, you need, or somewhere on the page, 3 different links to sound files. And these can be to different sound files. They can be to websites that have sound, okay? But you need 3 of them. Okay, you also need 3 links to videos. Now you can link to your own video or you can link to YouTube or any other video that is on the web. You need 1 embedded video. So you can use the video tag and embed your own video, or you can use iframe. Okay, iframe will also embed. Okay, either one. The text in your page should flow around the links and the embedded audio and video. If you do modify an existing page, you are going to have to adjust your CSS because it probably is not going to work for flowing the text around. So you're either going to probably do traditional box or flex box at this point to get the items to flow next to each other. Okay, then you will add those links into your assignment page and transfer everything. So I do have a lot of videos in here that are showing you and telling you how to do all these different tasks. And I have an example of a new multimedia page. So this is a special font I got just for Halloween. And you can see I have the embedded sound. I have links to sound files. I've got a video link. You only need 3 video links, but you can see that I have 4. And I have an embedded video file. Now, in addition, I went ahead and did another one. This is an iframe, but you do not need 2 things embedded. You only need 1. Okay, but I did include it so you could kind of see how that might look with one of your own files versus an iframe file. Okay, and if you guys want to see the source, you just right click and go to view source, and you can see how I set this up. Okay, so that is the lab assignment. And then once you finish that, then you're going to work on the midterm. This is not due for a couple weeks. And the questions are a little bit more difficult than what you're typically used to because they are similar to what you're going to see on the certification exam. So to help you prepare for that certification exam, we are using a question format that is similar. The certification exam is timed and it is closed book. Because this is for you to prepare for that test, it is not timed. And you can take this test 3 times and your highest score is going to be used. There's no time limit and it is open book, open note. Okay, so there's 50 questions, total number of points is 60. And once you submit, it will tell you if you got something right or wrong, but it is not going to show you the right answer because you can retake this test 3 times. You will not see the correct answer until the test is closed. Then you can go back in and you can look for the right answer. It'll show you it after the test closes. Okay, so you have a couple weeks to get this done. I definitely would do it all 3 times. There are some questions that are being randomly pulled in. 21 questions are the same on every single test. 29 are being randomly retrieved. So what does that mean? If you take the test and let's say you got 40 out of 60. When you take the test a second time, 21 questions are going to be the exact same, but the other 29 may be different, okay? And so let's say the second time, well, you got all those 21 right, plus you got some of the other ones right, and you ended up with 50 out of 60. I would still take it the third time. Moodle is going to take whatever your highest score is, and it is going to use that for your grade on this test. And because this is giving you practice for your certification, doing it 3 times will benefit you in the long run. Okay. If you guys have any questions or if you run into problems this week, please let me know. The multimedia assignment is fun. I want you guys to have fun with it. And as I said, if you run into any glitches, let me know. I am happy to help you.